Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lodge Podcast.
Welcome back. Episode 6?
7.
7?
Yep, 7.
Wow.
It's been a while. Forgive us.
It has been a while.
It's been a minute. I hope you all have been doing well. It's getting to be fall time now. There's a little bit of a breeze, a little bit of chill in the air. I've been enjoying that.
It has been nice.
Been pretty epic.
Very nice.
Other than that, we've been chilling, vibing.
Yeah, why don't you update the people? What have you been up to?
Yeah, what have I been up to? I've been chilling and vibing. And that's really the extent of my escapades.
Yeah.
Chilling and vibing. That's what I do. If anybody thinks I'm a real person who has real hobbies or does any real things outside of the camera, no.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll
vibe.
walk into your room and you'll just be sitting on the bed just looking at the wall.
Yeah. I'm loading. I'm buffering. Until there's a camera on me, I don't exist. Yeah. I spawn when the camera goes on.
I'm like, Felix. I'm like, oh, okay. Gotta pull up my phone. I press record.
Yeah. What's up, man? What's up, dude? I snap into character.
Yeah.
The characterless me is just suffering, pain and suffering and sorrow. But on camera, we're happy and fun and everything.
Time.
Welcome back to the video. Do not click off this video.
Do not click off this.
What have you been up to?
Big news. No, big news
Question.
from you.
No.
We're not done
skipping
with you.
over you.
Well, yeah,
I can't just be not a real person and you.
No,
can't
we're coming.
You.
We're coming to me soon.
Okay, we'll bring it back around.
Yeah, we got to keep on you. You've had some big news. Your Johnny Cash short. That was pretty sick.
That was pretty sick.
Why don't you enlighten everybody? What happened there?
Went pretty big. Went pretty viral. That was, I would say, my first viral video.
Yeah.
And I would actually consider it viral, which is pretty nutty. It has 10 million views or something across everything.
Yeah. What are you doing in the video?
Basically, I just explained a little technique that Johnny Cash used to use where he would just put a dollar bill in his guitar. And honestly, I didn't really think anything of it. It was just because I upload those videos daily or mostly daily. And it was just another one of the videos I was doing daily. And it just kind of popped off. It got the right audience, which is weird because I say it got the right audience, but it just reached the normal audience. And then somebody outside caught on and the algorithm was like, we're going to show this to everyone. Everyone you've ever known is going to see this.
Yeah, and then the other platforms were like, I guess this is a big video. We'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
So they all have millions of views, which is how do they know that?
That's the thing. Honestly, I feel like there's got to be some sort of content detection system where it picks up okay, this video is doing well, so other people are going to like this video as well. Yeah,
that's why you got to, if you're doing shorts, you got to post on all the platforms.
100%, dude, because if I didn't post, I actually just recently started posting on Facebook again. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have made any money. But Facebook, you can make money from, actually, whereas Instagram and TikTok, you just make no money from, which sucks. But
you made money on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Significant amount, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound, I'm not rolling in it, but more than my usual stream of income.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the video got 5 million views or something?
Yeah, it was 5 mil on there.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
pretty nuts out.
It makes you think all those people who just make the most brain dead content, podcast on top, Subway Surfers on bottom, and those get millions of views. You can make some money doing short form.
Totally. I mean, that's the thing. I remember when the whole Andrew Tate thing was popping off, people were making a ton of money because they were just reposting his clips. And if you say something that's going to get a bunch of views, it does lead to money. I mean, it's a crazy world that we live in, and a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of older people have no clue. I could explain to somebody's grandpa, I made a viral video, and he's like, that's cool. I don't know what that means, but that's cool. But it actually translates into actual, not just money, but also people see your channel more, and a lot more people have been exposed to my stuff recently, which is cool.
That is sick.
But also it's I have never had the mindset, and I've had this problem before where I'll make a video and then it'll kind of I don't want to say blow up, but it'll kind of get out there to a wider audience. And I'm like, what the heck? I wasn't expecting that because I just am always making content for the people that watch me regularly.
Yeah.
So I never think that anybody besides that is going to see it. I told you Carson Daly liked my TikTok. I was like, dude, I just would never in a million years have fathomed that to even happen.
No, I remember before you posted that, you're like, Coleman, I'm about to drop this video. Really hoping Carson sees this one. And you succeeded.
Yeah, he is actually my target audience. Just him.
No, we were talking about just imagining him just sitting on the toilet scrolling shorts, and then he sees your video and he's like, double tap it and then keep scrolling.
Yeah, which is funny. Dude, also the thing that's crazy about that too is the amount of hate comments is crazy. Like when you
Really?
reach
On your video?
so many. Like you reach
what are the hate comments?
dude, it's a 29-second video. It's unreal. Like there's so many of the hate comments are like appearance based, obviously a lot. That's like the usual comments. It's like your mustache sucks or like whatever fucking people say. But like that's one of them. Also people just saying like Johnny Cash sucks, like whatever. People are like, oh, this sounds like shit. It's like, dude, I could not. If this video didn't blow up, I would care less about this video.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's, I mean, dude, if you are finding a way to say something negative in the comments of a video like that, which is just like,
it's
hey,
an informational video.
Here's a cool little thing that Johnny Cash did. Yeah. Everybody's like, this is making me mad. I don't know why, but I'm mad. And then they just say something like, I mean, that's why like listening to hate comments is the dumbest thing ever. Because if you ran into one of those people in real life, you would look at them and you'd be like, don't want to have anything to do with you.
And the thing is, they would never say that to you in person.
Yeah,
either.
That's also very true.
Like most people would never ever say any of that stuff to your face. And if they did, you'd be like, are you okay? Like, what is wrong with you, dude? And they just walk away. But also it's just, there's so many little things that like people will nitpick. And like also people were saying like, this is total bullshit. He never did this. It's like, dude, there's literally a guitar of his that he owned with the dollar bill still threaded through the strings in the Johnny Cash Museum in Nashville. Yeah. And like his family has been cited as like saying it's a real thing. Because obviously when I started getting comments like that, I had to check and see like, because if I'm just spreading like wrong information, I'll be like, okay, I should probably check that. Yeah. But it takes one Google search. Yeah. And most of like the things people say in the comments are like, dude, you have access to Google. You could actually just look this up for yourself and it would have saved you the embarrassment of like looking like
they just see it and they're like, I didn't know that. Can't be true.
Yeah. What the heck? I didn't have this information, so it's not real. Yeah, no, people are weird, dude. But then I think about people who get like 5 million views to them is nothing. Like if they just get that on every video, the amount of hate comments that they probably receive is unbelievable, you know?
It's gotta be a lot to deal with.
Yeah. Which is why when people say like, oh, like don't become like an influencer or don't do social media if you're not ready for like hate comments, if you don't have thick skin. It's very true. It's like, because some of the things people comment, it's like, dude, if you didn't know any better, like you would actually just get like depressed.
No, totally. Yeah. I mean, if someone who just like opened up Instagram and they're like, I'm going to post something cool, and then they get that amount of views and that happens to them, they would read all the comments and like take them personally. Yeah. Of like, oh, this person's trying to tell me something. They're not just like saying something and not just thinking
miserable in their life.
Yeah, exactly. But like we've been doing this for 5 years now to where it's, we've had hate comments before, and they were like, a lot worse at the start. Yeah, like when I was making tutorials of like, this is how to sound like Post Malone, and I didn't know how to make music. All of the comments were just like, and they were rightfully
dog shit, kill yourself.
Yeah, but they were right about those, because a lot of those tutorials, I'm like, I gotta unlist this. Yeah, this is not Post Malone at all.
See, the thing is, still either way, like even if I made a video that sounds, it's a Post Malone video, but it sounds nothing like Post Malone, I would never see that video and comment like, this sucks, like you did a horrible job. I would, if anything, I would be the guy who's like, this is really good, man, you should like, one thing that I found that's really helpful is like to do this or whatever, like in like a constructive way. Yeah, because I mean, if you ever have any criticism, it should never be anything other than constructive criticism, I feel like.
And if you're like hating on somebody who's trying to make a tutorial to teach people,
and like a 14-year-old,
what are you doing? This is like, I want to help people out. Here's how to sound like Post Malone. Yeah, and you're like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah, you're like a 40-year-old man who's like, this does not sound like Post Malone. I love Post Malone, and this sounds nothing like him. Yeah, people are odd, man. But what can you do? Just keep grinding. Just keep interacting with my video because it gets me more views. So who wins in the end? True. That's the thing that's funny about haters. It's like, dude, the more they interact with your content, is true, the less they ignore you, the more you win. So yeah, there's a lot of snakes in the grass, a lot of haters that I'm sidestepping
through. Don't pay attention to them. I'm kind of like, picture like the wolf pack. I'm kind of the alpha.
I'm kind of like the alpha. I'm kind of a sigma, if anything.
But I'm also a lone wolf.
Yeah. People know me, but they don't know me.
Yeah. So many girls come up to me, but I always just look away because I got to stay on the grind. Yeah.
I'm the overthinking hooper.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty neato. Pretty neat stuff.
That is pretty neato.
That's been going on. Yeah, what's been going on with you? You've been up to?
What's been going on? We have a funny little inside joke on this podcast that I'm going to get a part-time job.
Dude, quick shout out. I have to give a quick shout out. Eric listens to the podcast episodes.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, is Coleman really going to get a part-time job? You guys keep joking about it.
Well, we've reached the threshold where
I take my shirt off.
Yep. And I do too. I've gotten a part-time job. So I'm now working about 10 hours a week, helping with a little small dealership, running like Facebook ads and helping out with the website and stuff. Yep, selling drugs.
Little drug dealership.
Doing a lot of drugs as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, got a little part-time job because I had to, because I actually failed paying rent one month. So I was like, yeah.
I didn't know you like actually failed paying.
It was like I didn't totally fail paying rent, but like I got to a point where to pay utilities, my bank account would have been like very low, like around the 100 mark. And I was like, okay, I gotta
do something about that.
Yeah, gotta do something about that. So
yeah,
got a part-time job, and it's actually been nice.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly the thing is you're not even really working that much, and you're definitely have like a stable like thing to be able to fall back onto, which is really nice.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean I'm making like enough, like I'm making rent money just from the part-time job.
Right.
So then the other stuff that I make from YouTube can just be put towards like groceries and then saving money.
Right.
Because I've been like in a deficit for a year, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I've just made it work. And this time I'm like, I need to think about saving up money, you know?
Yeah.
But it's actually been nice creatively because I've been writing a lot of music.
Yeah, which is really cool actually.
Yeah. Like I'm making a little EP, which I'm excited about dropping, but it's allowed me to be like, to sit down and work and then be like, okay, I don't need to focus 100% on something that can make money from the art. I can just make something creative that's not going to make money, and that's the music. And that's the thing I enjoy most about what I do, is making the music.
Right. And you don't also now have like the monetary pressure of like, I need to make music and make videos because that pays the bills. And now it's just kind of, it's going back to a thing that you just enjoy rather than a thing that also has business tied to it as well.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the part-time job is nice, but it'd be nice if I didn't have to get one.
Sure, yeah.
But that would mean that like I'm making a lot of money from the music stuff, which I think is definitely a possibility. And like,
for sure,
like my boss knows, you know, if something takes off, then he's totally cool with me being like, hey man, the YouTube's actually working out now. Yeah. But I've just learned, dude, after 4 years of doing this full time, it takes a lot longer than you think it does.
Totally.
And just we have so many different little avenues that are making money, and it takes years to get something off the ground, especially if it's like 100% like entrepreneurial and you're the one who made it.
Right.
Just takes a while. Like the merch thing, you know, it was kind of comical how I put all like my eggs in the basket on the merch thing, and then right when we're about to launch it, something crazy happens and something totally out of our control. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I shouldn't be putting all my eggs in a basket that's so inconsistent.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. And also the thing is, like you're talking about, something that is very like entrepreneurial and you're building it like from the ground up, and you have to like have expenses and things that you pay for. Like we have to pay Printful or our company that makes the merch to actually make the merch. So it's like, you know, the profit margin thing. Yeah. That's a whole aspect in of itself too, because we're just not making like pure profit off of the merch, which is like so many products, you know, you're not making pure profit off of it. There's very few things that are pure profit.
Exactly.
Products.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is also, I'd say this is a result of about a year ago, or a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago, when I just kind of got tired of the tutorials, and I got super inspired to make like more cinematic and more like storytelling videos about art and music and making songs. And that kind of changed the trajectory of my channel. Right. And like my channel's not doing as good as it used to because I'm making the tutorials, which I personally don't really care about, because I'm looking way into the future, and I'm being like, I want to be more of an artist, and I want my channel to reflect that. So I want to start this as early as I can. Yeah. The only thing that I don't like about it is my audience is like, they came to the channel so they can learn stuff. So that's why I made the Zolmates Academy channel, because I'm like, I still do enjoy making the tutorials, but I don't want, Zoll 24/7 official music video to be sandwiched between 3, like, how to make
a beat in Ableton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's something I'm very excited about, is like building that channel up. And I've got a new tutorial I'm working on, and just putting all the tutorials there, continuing to do those, because those are just way better for a YouTube channel, like branding and getting brand deals, and then, making packs and shouting them out in the videos. Like, that's the way to do it, but keeping my channel more like artistic, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's the thing I was going to mention too, is like, obviously over time you change as a person. And so naturally the things that you work on and the content that you make is going to change as well. Because like obviously the content that I'm making now is way different from the content that I was making when I was 17. But and maybe it's not as successful, maybe it's not getting as many views, but it's just different because I'm a different person.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. It's like as you change and as you grow and develop, so is everything that you make and everything that has to do with you as well,
Yeah. Yeah, no. So got a little part-time gig. We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully not very long, because that'll mean that my channel's doing well. But and the music. But it's really helping me focus a lot more on the music.
Yeah,
which is very cool. And I'm realizing just how much I love making the music, and excited about that. We got a little song as well, you and I.
Yeah, we do.
Dropping this Friday.
That's going to be very exciting. Excited to have some more Park Rangers
music video.
That music video is so fun to film.
Yeah, we're very excited for y'all to see it. So fun.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things that we've worked on so far.
I'd agree.
Because that song, like, I like the song obviously, but it wasn't like my favorite song ever. Like, I like Phases more. But now that the music video is a thing, and once we filmed the music video, I was like, okay, now I really like it. I like it a lot more now.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. I was like, this is a cool song. I remember when I even kind of came to you and I was like, I don't know if I'm vibing with this, because I could not get the vocals right. Remember?
Yeah.
How I re-recorded them like 3 times, and the third time I came to you and I'm like, dude, I don't know about this song. We could just vault it and then move on. But we stuck with it, finally got some vocals I liked, and then the final master, I was like, this is definitely worthy enough of a Park Ranger song. Then we made the music video, and it was just so in line. We went to this, you found this abandoned like carnival. I don't know how you found it, but we go there, we get there, nobody's there, coolest set ever, and we just go crazy with the music video. Like, we
spent like the whole day there too, and just film. We didn't get interrupted by anybody, and it was really cool.
But the setting of that place helped me realize how much I like the song, which is such a cool thing about music. It's like where you listen to it and the setting of it truly matters, because there's a lot of songs that I'll listen to and it takes me back to this spot, and that's why I love the song.
Yeah, 100,000,000%. I think that's honestly one of my favorite things about music, is the kind of nostalgia and the memories that are tied to a song, because I can flip on like Goosebumps by Travis Scott and like I immediately am somewhere, and it's just like that with any song where you have like an image in your head. And I think I just love the song now because, like you were saying, now forever when I hear that song, I'm gonna imagine us filming that music video and having so much fun doing that. So I think that is also one of the cool things with us planning to make a music video for all of our Park Ranger songs, is that we're always gonna have some sort of memory tied to the song, which is really cool.
Dude, how hype are you for Fire Escape?
I'm really hyped. Actually, when you started talking about like the idea that we had for the music video, that got me really hyped.
Yeah, no, we gotta take our time with that one, because that's a diamond.
I like that song a lot.
We haven't even
the fact that I still remember it without even having like listened to the video or anything, or having even recorded anything yet. The fact that I still remember the song goes to show how good it is.
She walks by. It's so good, man.
So good. So yeah. Anyways, stream Park Rangers on all platforms.
Stream Park Rangers. Also,
be on the lookout this Friday.
We should have said this. It's been 20 minutes already. Yeah. Haven't even got to the questions, and haven't gotten to the main thing we wanted to say, which Sound Lodge merch.
Yeah.
That's a Sound Lodge t-shirt right there.
Yeah, Paul Rogers.
A little Paul Rogers Sound Lodge collab. Sound Lodge merch. Y'all have a week left to get this merch. Use the discount code The Lodge to get a percentage off. Still forget what the percentage is, but 10%, might be 20. So
yeah, we
don't know. But yeah, y'all have a week left. This is limited time merch. I would definitely go cop the hat if I were you, or the hoodie.
The hat is sick. The hoodie's sick. The shirts are sick. It's all sick.
It's all sick.
Everybody who's got the merch so far says they like it a lot. So
yeah, and also that big thank you to everybody who's copped the merch, supported us that way. It helped a lot.
And anybody who bought the merch, put your pictures in the merch section of the Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah. So cop the merch. It's dope. It's awesome. Watch the commercial for it because the commercial is awesome too.
Commercial is cool. All right, let's get into the questions.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got to have a little recap at the beginning.
No, totally. Especially, it's been, how long has it been since the last episode?
I think it's been a month.
Yeah.
Almost close to a month.
It's crazy. This is going to be a cool podcast to look back to, like in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. I wonder if we're still doing this in 10 years. Hopefully we are.
Too. Yeah, I hope so. I hope we're doing just big episodes, like with like guests and stuff on.
As y'all know, in this podcast, our favorite thing to do is answer your questions, and you should definitely leave a question in the Discord, in the Ask Your Questions channel.
Or in the comments below if you're on YouTube.
Or in the comments below, yeah. But let's kick this one off from Marmar on the Discord, and they say, what are some tips to finding your sound?
Good question.
Both as an artist and a producer.
What is your tips as an artist?
Tips as an artist. I would say, first of all, understand it takes time. It really does take time.
Definitely.
You can align all the pieces to, try to develop your own sound as early as you can. But if you're just now getting into making your own music, just have fun with it. Like, I would say, plan a year of just having fun with it. And also, like, if you're not getting into music because you love it, then is music really right for you?
Yeah, you're doing it for the wrong reasons anyways.
So I'm assuming you love music. So with that out of the way, you're set. You will find your sound, but it is going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of experimentation, I would say. Just try to recreate some of your favorite music. A lot of people say, like, recreate some songs, like specific songs, and I think that can help, but that could also just rope you into replicating artists. But so I think, like, more genre wise, what's a genre you really love making? What do you want your songs to sound like? And try to make that as good as you can, and understand that you are a 100% original person, so you're going to make 100% original art at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even if it's like very influenced by all of the sounds that you listen to, but you listen to a specific subset of music that no one else does. So it's going to have its own little flair.
Definitely. I think as a producer, and honestly, this goes for artists too, but knowing what you like and what you don't like is so important. And knowing what you like and don't like, people are like, oh yeah, it's pretty easy. Obviously, of course. But so many people just go with whatever everybody else likes. Like everybody likes this one thing. If you don't like it, you don't have to pretend to like it, Like, there's so many artists out there where, like, they're just popular and just everybody thinks they're great, so that means you have to like it. But if you're out of touch with what you like and don't like, it's so much harder to build your sound, because that is your sound. That is your Very style. True. Is whether that goes for music or whether it goes for fashion or it goes for, your way you decorate your room, whatever. What you like and don't like makes up you, who you are as a person, and your style. So that's a really big thing, is just being in tune with your tastes. And then also, I think, like, sound-wise, using live instruments is going to help you a lot, because nobody has the exact instruments that you have. Nobody has the exact drums. Nobody has the exact room that you're recording in. Nobody has the exact guitars. None of that stuff. Nobody does your process the exact same way that you do it. So that's a big thing as well, because that's going to give you a very unique characteristic. But also, I think it just goes back again to knowing what you like and what you don't like. What influences you, that's all those different influencers are going to come together and create your sound.
Yeah. Yeah, with the instruments as well, is instruments just totally kind of take you out of the loop in the project. Yeah. And that's where a lot of replication and similarities come from, is from the loop and from VSTs that everyone has access to.
That's the thing too. If everybody has the sounds you're using, there's no way to be unique with it.
Yeah, and they're gonna hear, a synth that Travis Scott used, and they're gonna be like, oh, this sounds like Travis Scott, before you even start singing in your song. Yeah, exactly. But if you have a guitar and you just start playing it, and you don't even have a metronome going, and your computer's not even on, you're just going to make something a lot more real to you.
Right.
So, yeah, I totally agree. Grab an instrument as soon as you can, whether that's a guitar or just a keyboard of some kind. Mm-hmm. That'll definitely help.
Yeah, because even specific keyboards have certain sounds to them. Like one keyboard is not going to sound exactly like the other one. And there's so many different models of keyboards out there. Like there's Yamaha PSR 1 through 700 million that you can find that all have a different kind of sound and different presets to them. So yeah, I think just experiment as much as you can with live instruments because it's so much more unique than just using the same 5 Omnisphere presets, you know?
Yeah, totally. That also leads into our second question, which is from Zombie X Leader. And they say, how did you know when you found your sound?
I can actually think of one moment that like really stuck out to me. It's funny enough, when we were at the cabin and we were working on whatever song we were working on, we had a bunch of songs that were going. But I remember there was one part that came in and I did like a little guitar solo thing. Mm-hmm. And Logan was like, that's Fizo right there.
Yeah,
and
sick.
I just remember that and I was being like, oh yeah, I guess I do have kind of like a thing, you know?
That is cool.
Like a way that like my guitars sound or way that my like the way that I play melodies and all that kind of stuff, you know? So
yeah, that's also... I feel like another thing is whenever you and I sit down to write a song and we're always like, we always try, like when we try to make that happy song and it was just, I listened back to the footage a while back. I think it was camcorder footage or something, but no, it was on my phone. It was me recording the lyrics. So I remember what the lyrics were. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I am so glad this was not Park Rangers. Because it is not, the verse was...
Oh, the first one that we did? Yeah.
Yeah, not good at all. But a lot of times we'll joke about it and we'll say, can we even write a happy song? And that's kind of our sound. Is like a little bit of a more melancholic feel to the track.
Yeah.
And we could force it and try to make something happy, but our sound has kind of gone into that feel. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be a sad song because like whenever I make the folk stuff, it's a happy song, but it sounds kind of sad. And that's just kind of my sound because that's the music I love listening to. That's the music I want to make. So
yeah, it goes right back to the knowing what you like and what you don't like thing. You know, like I don't really listen to a whole lot of like super happy upbeat music. You know, so I just and even like lyrically or sonically, it's just not really my vibe most of the time. So I don't know. I just gravitate towards what I like and just make what I like. You know.
Totally. Yeah, it was... I feel like for me, it was never I found my sound. Mm-hmm. It just took a lot of time. Totally. I feel like I am confident that I do have a sound now, but I'll even sometimes experiment and be like, this isn't really my wheelhouse, but I still kind of have a little bit of influence for it. Also, another moment I just thought of was when you made the How to Make a Zol type beat. That was like, and you made it and you sent it to me. And I remember I wasn't even thinking of the possibility of you making a Zol type beat. So I never guessed that it was a Zol type song. Yeah. But once you told me, I was like, this actually feels like a beat that I would make. So I was like, I guess I kind of do have a sound.
Yeah. That one, I feel like I did a pretty good job with that video, oddly enough. Like, I feel like I copied like some of the things that you did on some of your songs, like with little fills and like percussion stuff here and there. And it's like that kind of just your tendencies as an artist kind of come out in your music regularly, you know? Like I like to do the little like one note guitar thing a lot now and like certain things like that, you know, if you like take a step back and realize, oh, I just kind of do this on songs, you know, it's just kind of what I do. And I think also part of that too is you kind of get to a point as a producer, as an artist, where you get good enough to where you don't like continue thinking about, oh, now I've got to put the drums in here and now I've got to like put this guitar melody. You just kind of do and you just kind of act without actually having to like really like think super like in depth about it. And that's when your sound kind of comes out as well. I feel like that's when you'll start to notice the things that are your sound is when you reach a point when you can just kind of create without thinking.
Yeah. I think it's all just moments of, ooh, what would it sound like if I did this? Ooh, what would it sound like if I did this? Don't really like that. I'm going to try this. What if it sounded like this? And that's just the whole process while you're making the song. You know, okay, this is the chorus. What would it sound like if I maybe like took out the piano in this section? What would it sound like if I added this weird percussive thing?
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of experimentation. And then just like you said, having a taste, being confident in it. If I don't like it, even if I spent 2 hours warping the guitar, don't like it, I can delete it because I don't like it. I'm not going to force it into the song. Just following your taste until the final product is the way. We've said it on this podcast before, but like that's all Rick Rubin offers. And he's one of the most legendary producers ever. So
right. And I was going to say about how Rick Rubin's advice most of the time is just to not worry about the audience, not worry about anything else other than just what you like and what you want to create, because that's the most important thing. And that's like the purest form of creating art is just whatever you want to make.
Totally. Yeah. With these songs that I'm making, when I'm making the song, I'm like, I just want to make a song that I like. And I never really listen to my own music when it's out because I would have heard it 1,000 times.
Right.
But like in this stage, when I haven't heard 1,000 times, I've heard it maybe 500 times. I'm still like, I really like this song.
Yeah.
And this is a song that I would listen to.
Yeah, totally. That's how I am too with a lot of the stuff we make for Park Rangers and all the stuff, like we just do collab stuff. I actually just enjoy the song, you know, and that's the main thing. Like you want to enjoy the song.
Yeah.
Because it's your music taste. Honestly, when you really think about it, the music that you make should be your favorite music because it's a culmination of all of your favorite music coming into one thing that is exactly created uniquely from scratch, exactly what you want to hear, you know?
There are also artists out there though that don't follow that. And it's usually because they're successful. Yeah. You know? So they like find how to make just pop music. And maybe they're not that passionate about it. Yeah. Yeah, but
that's like the soul crushing aspect.
Yeah, that's what
music.
I'm saying. It's not going against your point. I'm agreeing with you. Like I don't think that's the best way to make music. But if you're doing it to make a lot of money, then you're doing it right.
Yeah, it's like that's the best way to approach it as making music for business. But if you're making music for art purposes, then it's the best way to do it is just making what you enjoy to make.
Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question, Zombie. It wasn't really a moment. There were a few little moments.
Yeah, there's little moments here and there when you start to realize it, but it just takes time. That's really the main thing. Like, and I think the other piece of advice I can give is stop focusing on it, because for the longest time I had such a focus on that too. I was like, how do I get my sound? How do I sound like Monty Booker has a sound and Kenny Beats has a sound and all these other guys have a sound? How do I get that? You know, like Metro Boomin's got a sound. Honestly, for so long I was like, oh, well, it's got to be like a drum sound that I use. It's got to be like an 808 that I use all the time. It's got to be a certain, you know, VST plugin. It's none of that. It's just every little small tendency and every little thing that comes together over years and years of making music that just becomes your thing, you know? And it's never going to be one little gimmick or one little thing that you do. It's just, you know, everything that adds up together.
Yeah, I think in order to get your sound, you have to get quick with making music. And you have to build a few fundamental skills in making music. Because if you're very slow and you don't know your DAW, it's going to be hard for you to have a taste, because inspiration is just so quick. And the musical process, creating art, is such a, you know, you're just following the muse. You hear something here, hear something there. And if you don't like try it immediately and you take some time, maybe you walk away and come back. Or if you're not that great of a producer and you don't have the skills yet and you're like, ooh, maybe if there was like an LFO that like adjusted the volume, I'm going to throw that in here, but I don't really know how to work it yet. And then you spend 20 minutes and that idea is gone. So I think the main thing is just keep making the music, get better, and over time you will develop that sound.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because I think being able to navigate around enables you to not have to think so much, and it enables you to be able to just act, which is like basically what we're saying. Like when you think more, you create less, kind of.
Yeah, totally. This is a great question from Goetze. If you had to pursue something besides music, YouTube, or film, what would you choose?
If you had to pursue something besides all of the things that you care about and are passionate about, what would it be? I'll be a janitor.
Yeah.
I'll go work at a McDonald's. No, I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is being a music teacher. However, I know people in the comments are like already going, that just has to do with music still. That's still music. So barring that, then I would
delete
just
your comment.
Yeah, delete
right now. Backspace.
He's like, backspace. Barring music teacher, because I would love to be a music teacher, but just being a teacher in general would be really cool. I think there's something so special about inspiring the next generation of people, of human beings. I think that's so cool. Whether it's if I'm teaching science or if I would love to be a gym teacher. That'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
That would be dope because I think health and fitness is really important. But other than that, I think there's not really much that comes to mind. Like, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be an architect because I just loved Minecraft, but I could not see myself being passionate about architecture now. Yeah.
I was about to go to OU doing architecture.
Really?
Yeah. But I instead went on a more creative route. And I mean, I would say...
dropped out of college.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, I would say like, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Like...
I'd be homeless. I'd be doing drugs.
I would probably have a part-time job and I'd be trying to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really see another reality. Like, there's so many moments where I zoom out and I'm like, dude, I'm built different. Yeah. But in the wrong way. Yeah. Like, I'm not bragging about this.
I'm autistic as shit.
No, dude. I mean, like, yeah, like I went to OU and I was doing creative media production, which is like the most creative major there is at OU. Yeah. But I was like, this is not what I'm looking for. Dude, but that's the thing is like college, and college is totally important for, I think, a specific subset of people.
Yeah, if you're gonna be like a doctor or something, go to college, please.
Yeah, but like if you're really passionate about kind of doing your own thing, even the most creative major is not going to tell you how to do that.
Totally.
They're going to teach you how to do something that they already know.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I mean, it'd be cool to be like a park ranger and like just kind of be like okay with just living a not noisy life and not have to deal with a lot of stuff, because a lot of times I do kind of fantasize about that. But I feel like this really is the only reality for me, and I've learned that over the years.
Yeah. Well, the thing is also, I think college is just not for anything creative, honestly. Like, they have art colleges and they have all that kind of stuff, but I think even Casey Neistat said this, but they can't teach you how to create. They can't teach you what's not even in your own brain yet. There's no tangible thing when it comes to art. It's like a thing that you have to grasp and pull out of thin air to create this new, unique product. And they can't teach that. They can teach, like, yeah, this is how you work a camera. These are what the settings on a camera do. This is, how to hold the paintbrush. This is the type of texturing you want to use. These are techniques that certain other artists have used, but they can't teach you how to create the art. They can't teach you what art to create. And that's just a thing that it just comes down to you, when it really is all said and done. It's just not a teachable thing, I feel like. And college is more for like professions. And I don't really see myself ever getting passionate about like a profession. Like, I don't see myself getting passionate about like, being a lawyer or like being a doctor or whatever. Like, obviously everybody's got their own thing, but it's just unfathomable to me the amount of people that are like, yeah, man, I really want to be a lawyer. In my head, I'm like, no, you don't. How could you want to be a lawyer? Yeah. But it's just not the way my brain works. And it's just, we just are built different, I guess.
Yeah, in the wrong way.
Yeah, in all the wrong ways. But I mean,
dude, sometimes I like dream of just, because that's also another thing. Like, I really like the idea of being this creative guy who, follows his own whimsical desires and chases after his that was so weird.
Follow my whimsical desires. That's crazy.
I was pulling a pipe.
My whimsical desires.
Yeah, I am autistic. All right. Moving on. No, but that is kind of the only reality I see for myself. But I also just want to have a family, and I want to just get a home and have a little bit of land and have a garden, and have just a loving family. And it's difficult to do that with what we're doing. It's tough, man.
The thing is that I think about is I also think about that, right? Like, I definitely want a family and a house and land and all that kind of shit. But it's easy for us to romanticize those kinds of things because you don't really think about all of this sucky stuff that comes with it. Yeah. And I get this way even about college. Like, you had a little bit of college experience, but I never went to college at all. And so a lot of times I get like FOMO. I'm like, dude, I missed out on all of the college experience. Like, that really sucks. And I'll even visit my friends at college and stuff and be like, man, this would be really cool. But then
when you visit, you're witnessing the best parts of college.
Exactly.
Every time.
That's the thing. And then they're like, dude, you do not want this.
Yeah.
Like you have to write essays all the time. You got to do homework. You got to like, it's so stressful. Like Eric was talking about like, oh dude, I have to read like 10 hours a day on this stuff. And it's like, dude, that is the suck.
You have to take classes that have nothing to do with your major.
Yeah.
And you're like, I am paying thousands of dollars for this class.
That's the other thing too.
And college somehow decided, you know what? Is there a way that we can add 20,000 more hours to everybody's major? Let's say they have to get, I don't know, social study credentials for their major, so they pay us more money. It's like they've found a way to scam the system for sure.
100 million%. And so it's really easy to overlook all the negatives because we humans tend to go towards like, this is the positive thing of this, but there's a lot of negatives involved too. And there's a lot of negatives with being that 9-to-5 guy who just, has a stable job and stable income and everything, but you don't get to spend time with your family. You absolutely hate your job. You're not passionate about it. You'd give anything to be in our shoes and doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So it's the grass is always greener kind of a thing, But I think also kind of sorry to double back, but how you were saying, like, I would love to have like a farm and be like just like a farmer and have a bunch of land and everything. And obviously you can go to like agricultural school or whatever for that, but you don't even really need to go to school for that either. Like you can learn how to plant plants and like, grow corn and like tend to animals without going to school too, And so there's a lot of things that are like trade-based things, like welding. That's like, okay, go to school for trade school for that.
Trade school is the move. Like if I had to go back and do school, I would like look at myself in the eyes and say, I know this creative major sounds cool, but if you want to go to school, go to trade school. You're not going to get the cool big college feel, but all of your money is going to be going directly into something that is going directly into your future. Yeah,
it's like a usable monetary skill.
And dude, all of those trades, you make some bank. Yeah, you make some big money for sure. Yeah. Goatse, I'm sorry, I didn't really have an answer for you other than I do remember there's this thing that you can like go to Europe and help out with people's houses, like their land, help out with their land and just travel around Europe. And I've always wanted to do that. Yeah. I don't think that would be a career though. I could only do that for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, honestly, pursuing the pursuing part of the question is where it kind of, for me, is like, I don't want to pursue anything else.
Yeah.
Like I would low key, like if you ask like what my life would be like without this, I would just be like traveling around the country, and I would like work at little like restaurants here and there to like make money for like gas and like whatever. But I would probably like sleep in a van and like travel around the country, making music for fun,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Next question.
We're insane. Basically, we're insane.
No, dude, we are. Yeah. Don't follow our teachings for sure, unless you are as psychotic as we are.
You'll be a lawyer.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to be a lawyer. Just choose something that's a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
Something
that has a little bit more structure to it.
All right, next question is from Normie, and they say, how do you define success in your career besides numbers? Good question.
That's a good question. The first thing that comes to mind for me is how fulfilled you feel doing what you're doing. I think that is kind of a good marker for success in any field. Is like if you feel like it's worthwhile and you feel like it's making your life better to be doing this thing, then I think that's a good marker of success, regardless of like how much money you're making or how popular you are at it, whatever.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I just got a part-time job and I don't really feel any less successful with what I do.
Yeah.
And, me realizing that I'm not making a lot of money from the YouTube thing doesn't necessarily mean that I'm less successful. Like I'm still having as much of an impact as I have had with the content I'm making. And my number one goal has always been to inspire people. And that's why my content has kind of shifted into just making more inspirational. Like, that's what I love about movies. Like, I'm such a movie buff, like just watching a movie and having any kind of feeling inside of you. And it's just so awesome the way art is able to just send this thing from these other people directly into the viewer, and they feel that thing. Like, that is my favorite thing ever. And I think the main goal with my channel is to inspire people to make more music, you know, and to not give up with the whole art thing, because it's difficult, man. And that's why I share all of my failures and successes on my channel. Like I'm about to make an update video about getting a part-time job, and I'm going to talk about all the same stuff. But to, you know, for somebody who has 50,000 subscribers, has been doing it full time for 4 years, to like make a video and say like, hey, I just had to get a part-time job. So if you are in the same position as I am, like, I don't view you as a failure. You know, this music thing, it takes a while and it's difficult. And I think I will say to a lot of other people who aren't as psycho as we are, and they're more tied into, you know, the way you're supposed to live, they would see me as a failure, you know. But I don't care about what those people think. It's like they're not trying to make anything beautiful in life. They're like, well, I was told when I was 20 that I had to do this thing, so I did the thing, and I've been doing it for 20 years now, and I'm successful, and I love it, but they don't like, they don't really like their life that much.
I love it so much. Yeah. It's so great.
And watching this kid, why aren't you doing what I had to do?
Yeah, which that kind of goes back into the whole hate comments thing. Like, the majority of people are living that life where it's, you know, they're working a 9 to 5 that they absolutely despise, and they just cannot fathom anybody not doing that. And when somebody comes along and they're like, yeah, I'm a young kid trying to make music and make videos for a living, they're like, what? You can't do that? No. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's because most likely they did have that spark and that dream when they were young, but it was just, it usually isn't because of their fault. Like it was just shoved down their throats that they had to do this thing.
Yeah. And like maybe you had a kid or something, you know, and like you gotta be like, you know, providing for your kid, not like making YouTube videos.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It's understandable in a lot of scenarios.
Well, that's the thing is like, you know, I think it's crazy that, you know, you graduate high school, you're 18 years old, and you have to make the biggest decision of your life.
Wild.
And a lot of people say like, you know, oh, it's not the end of the world. You can change majors. You can make changes. But like, if somebody kind of has that spark like we did when we were young, but everybody in their life tells them to do this specific thing and go to college and get this degree, and they're like, okay, I'm not giving up. I'm going to go do the college thing. But after 1 year, they're just already in the groove of things. Yeah. Then they go to 2.
You
then
can't
they
get
go to
out
3.
of that.
And then 4 years later, well, now I have to get a job because I just spent 4 years doing this thing. It's like, maybe there's still a possibility I could, you know, quit my job and do the music thing. But it's kind of like a relationship that doesn't need to happen. Yeah. It's like you're with this girl for 5 months, and you're like, I don't think this is perfect.
5 months, though.
Yeah. So like, I might as well ride it through. And that's why I think it's crazy that I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to go to college right after high school. Like everybody should have like a year of doing some kind of job or just figuring out what you want to do. Or hey, how about we do this? How about high school? You get to learn what you love to do. Instead of like
you get to
social studies, science, math. If you don't like these things, well, you know, the Industrial Revolution. It's like, that's not what was going on then. So.
And we've got electives that you can take for a couple of months out of your, you know, 12 years of being in school.
Yeah, and really let them know that these electives, they're not going to make you money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You're doing photography. This is for fun. This is a hobby. That's what it is.
All right, now this is the fun class. Yeah. We're doing photography.
Yeah. That is crazy how it's just situated where like, and also if you don't like math or, you know, anything like that, well, don't worry, because we've got advanced math for you. We've got math that's even harder than that you're going to have to take.
Yeah, you didn't like freshman math?
Yeah.
Well, here, you're going to have to take
I got some news for you. Pre-calc's on the horizon.
Yeah, like I'm all for, hey, how about people learn how to count and multiply and divide? But I feel like after middle school, we're kind of set.
Yeah.
And also, I don't remember any of the algebra or anything science related. I was never good at science to begin with. But yeah, I mean, I could rant about school all I want, but I'm also a dropout. So
yeah.
But y'all probably shouldn't be listening to me.
Yeah. True.
And I don't have a lot of money, and I had to get a part-time job.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't have $100,000 of debt.
So. And I don't hate my life. So
yeah.
If y'all don't want to hate your life, this might be the move.
Yeah.
I think
you'll still hate your life at some point. So
that's also tied so much into joy. Is like the main thing about happiness is having control.
Yeah.
The number one way to be unhappy is to have no control and to feel like you don't have control. So like I am wildly unsuccessful in so many people's eyes, but I've been a very happy guy for the last 4 years I've been doing this. And that's because I wake up and I'm like, I get to decide if I'm successful or not.
Right.
I get to decide how hard I work today.
Right.
And like, I believe I am one of the most hardworking people I know, but it's mainly because this is stuff I love to do.
Right.
I wouldn't really be this hardworking if this is, year 4 in a cubicle that I don't enjoy what I'm doing.
Exactly. And I think it goes also with the whole comparison is the thief of joy quote, where the only time you ever become unhappy is when you start comparing yourself to other people. And when you're like, oh, well, like, it would be really nice to like have that family and have the land and everything. The only reason that's in your head is because you're comparing it with other people, what other people are doing. And it's like some people have, they're making way more money than you. They have a way more stable job, stable income than you. But that has nothing to do with you. It just it's their thing, and everybody moves at their own pace. And that, like you said, to be able to just do what you want to do and have control over your own life, that is how we should live.
Yeah.
That is, if you don't want to go to college, I think that's just what you should do then. You should just not go to college. Because you're not going to be happy doing that. I think following what you enjoy is kind of the way to live life.
At least give it a shot and see if you're that psychotic about it as we are. Because we are definitely outliers. And there are going to be a lot of people that try it out and they're like, okay, this really isn't for me. I kind of just like the music thing as a part-time thing. Yeah. And I think, not even part-time, but just like as a hobby thing.
Yeah.
But I think that might even be more true to what art should be. Is to just have it be a hobby thing. Like, everybody should have it be a hobby thing instead of trying to milk money out of it.
Yeah, I agree, because I think we've probably talked about this before, but the only way that we've been able to get as far as we've gotten as well is because we do have a bit of an entrepreneurial mind in this stuff as well. And that has benefited us greatly, because if we didn't have that, then we would just be making kind of whatever and not worried about like what's going to do well or like how to sell anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Or, then you just make no money at all. And so there does have to be a little bit of a business aspect in it as well, which that's a big thing. A big point is like, if you just love what you do and you don't want to have to be worried about like, I need to make money from this thing and this thing needs to support me, then yeah, I would agree. Like, it is a more pure form of art when you can just make what you want to make and not have that pressure, like some stipulation where it's like, well, you got to make money, you got to make rent this month, so you got to make this kind of video or make that kind of video, because that's just another factor, another outlier that controls the art that you make. And that's the last thing you want to do, is have anything control the art you want to make.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think define success for me would be just, if I'm inspiring people to make music, then I'm successful. No matter how many people, if I get a comment on one of my videos that says, I need to see this, like, thank you for posting this, I'm going to get back to that song. Like, that's what I'm looking for, is those kind of comments.
Yeah, I would agree. I think if I can inspire people to make music and I can teach somebody something, it's very fulfilling for me. And I think the fact that I can make enough money to get by while doing what I like to do, that is also a good barometer of success for me. Because like, I don't need $1 million bajillion. It would be nice. I'm not going to turn it down.
Yeah.
But I, as much as I want to have that big gigantic plot of land and nice house and whatever, that'll come in time. And I think for now, what I'm worried about is just like being able to live life and do what I like to do.
Yeah,
it's a good measure of success. And also being able to one day not have to worry about the money thing, I think that's an ideal marker of success too, knowing that like eventually I won't need to be 35 still making how to make a trap beat in FL Studio videos.
I totally agree. I think it's also like a lot of the ways we make money is passive income, and that takes a long time to build, but once it takes off, it takes off. So I think the biggest thing is that everything that I'm doing, before I had to get this part-time job, because that's excluded now, but everything that I'm doing, that I'm working on, is 100% return on investment to me. Instead of spending 4 years learning a degree and then getting a job, and 40% of what you're giving this company, maybe even 20, is coming back to you.
Isn't that crazy? You go to school for 4 years, you pay them $100,000 so that you can be a benefit to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that you can benefit an entrepreneur when you could just be
crazy.
The entrepreneur yourself.
It is crazy.
Pretty nuts.
I mean, we can complain about the system all we want, but like, it's tough, man. For those people for most of people who go to college and get a degree and get a job, it's like, dude, I'm not dogging you at all. Like, it's difficult. You have to be crazy to do what we're doing. So
100%. That's like an incredibly scary thing.
Yeah.
To be able to tell your parents or your friends or whoever, like, I'm not going to college. I'm doing my own thing. Everybody will look at you like you're crazy. Yeah. Everybody's going to think you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
And maybe you are a little bit out of your mind, but I think that's maybe what it takes sometimes.
No, totally. And also just a message to everybody who, is maybe a junior in college right now. They don't really like it. I would say maybe stick it out. That might be my argument. But I would also just say, like, understand you're young and there's time, And also for older people who want to get into music, who watch our videos and they learn stuff, it's like, there's still time for you to make amazing art. I think the goal from all of us is to make beautiful art. And, if you're older, you still have the power and the ability to make that piece of art that's going to bring joy and fulfillment to others. So I think, just keep doing it. Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up.
We're running, I think we have 3 minutes left. So let's go ahead and wrap this bad boy up.
Hey.
We ask a question to everybody at the end of our episodes. Last episode, we asked if you had to choose one BPM range, you have 10 BPM to work with. So, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100. What would the BPM range be that you can only produce in this BPM range? Number one popular answer was 90 to 100.
That's interesting.
Second place was 110 to 120 and 120 to 130. And then third place was 150 to 160. So 90 to 100 is very popular. I would agree with the 110 to 120. Mm-hmm. My project is usually around 115. I really like the 115 range.
I would go with 110 to 120 too, because that is kind of a nice area where you can do a slower song. But if you want to do like double speed 120, you can do that too, and it's a faster song. So it's, I think, one of the most versatile tempo ranges, and the jump between 110 and 120 to me seems like a bigger jump than any of the other ones. Where like in my head, like 90 and 100 is like whatever, it's not that big of a deal. 130, 140, it's still pretty fast. But I don't know. Obviously, it's just placebo because it's all the same thing. But I feel like that is the best range to work in for me, at least, is 110 and 120.
I agree. Yeah. 90 to 100.
Come up with another question as well.
True. We do like, is college worth it? I kind of want to do that.
Maybe something like, is it worth it to go to school for music?
For music specifically, yeah. Kick it off.
And our question for you at the end of this video here today is, do you think that going to school, college specifically, for music is worth it?
Is it worth it to get a degree in music, or should you just get another degree, or maybe don't go to college at all and learn on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because we've been able to learn a lot on YouTube. But we're also lacking some,
technical
stuff.
some
technical stuff. But I also think some of that technical stuff can get in the way of making some good music.
True. Yeah, I think when you have too much information, you have too much like, this is exactly how you're supposed to do this, it hinders your ability to just act instead of, thinking about it so much.
Well, sound lodgers.
Sound lodgers.
Sound lodgers.
All right, sound lodgers.
Thank you for watching this video. This is or episode or see you next time.